Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at the expansion for a game we really like called the Axe, called Letters from Rome. Letters from Rome is the first expansion for a game that we really enjoy called The Axe from Cobblestone Games, designed by Peter Schultz. Plays 2 to 4 players in, what's this say, 90 minutes. Now, this is a preview of the game, so I'm just going to kind of show you what's going on and how it works, but there is a little bit of theme here. So The Axe is a game about the early church disciples traveling around, making disciples, spreading the gospel of Jesus, and getting people to believe in that message. This one is just going to expand the map, and they're going into Italy, where they're going to be writing a lot of letters. So what's it say? Take your journeys farther than ever before with the new Letters from Rome expansion. This game adds tithes from the church as a new resource, along with strategies revolving around the collection of epistles, letters, as your disciples can now travel all the way to Rome. So that's kind of the gist. So basically it's going to add one more territory. The base game already has, I think, 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6. So now you have 7 locations on the board that you can go to that have all the same actions except for one. Italy's going to add these epistles, which we'll talk about later. And it's going to add some money and an enlarged church. So the gameplay is going to feel similar, but it's going to have a few new elements. So if you want to see how that works, click the link in the video description. We'll play through at least a round, and then I'll show you how the new stuff works. If you don't want to see that, you just want to talk about what we think about the game, because I'm not going to do the components in this one because I have a prototype and there's no need to talk about the components. So we will just move on to the final thoughts right now. Okay, so I'm not going to rank this game. This is just a preview. I wanted to talk about it because I love the Axe. It's a fantastic game. The theme is just dripping on it. It's so fun. And to add more to that game gets me excited. So this is just almost more of a good thing, almost more of the same. It's going to add a new location you can go to, extra money resource so you can travel there, extra way to get more believers when you're preaching because you're going to feed the hungry. You're going to be enlarging your church as opposed to just building churches. You're going to be growing your church, which also makes the church more effective when you're praying. And the best part, you're going to be getting these epistle cards. Now, this is an interesting little piece here, because the card basically has a Bible verse on it, but then it's going to have all these themes here, which are going to score points at the end. If you can get 6, they're each going to be worth 2. If you can't get all 6, they're going to be worth 1 point each. And then it's going to send your worker that you spent all that money on, 2 coins, that's a lot, to get to Italy. It's going to send them back to another location on the basic board, and it's going to then give you some kind of ability. Could be a believer, could be building a church, could be giving you prayer points, could be letting you refresh one of these miracle cards that you played, which is really powerful because those are all really good cards and some of them are expensive. And but then you've wasted your worker in Italy. Yes, you can do all the basic actions over there, but while you're doing those, you're not doing this. So it's basically, do I want to pay 2 coins so I can get a letter? Do I want to pay 2 coins just to keep moving around over there where there's nobody else so I can preach and pray and get all those points for myself? You probably want to get these letters. These letters are awesome. The epistles are fun. They're not like crazy complicated. It's basically a Bible verse, and then where are you going? What are you doing? That's it. So if you've played the Axe before, this is going to be easy to integrate in with the game. There's hardly any rules. I know when the game comes out, they're going to have like the player aids that I showed you in the overview. If you watch that, that's for the base game. So it doesn't have the differences of, the difference of what happens when you're doing praying or your church or your preaching or all that kind of thing. It doesn't talk about tithing because that's a new element. But that's all going to be included on these cards of the base game, the expansion, which is fantastic. So if you're playing the expansion, use those. If you're not, use these. It's a fun game. It's worker placement, worker movement, whatever you want to call it. I call everything worker placement because you're taking a worker and you're placing it on a board. And you're just trying to, now you're collecting cards, you're collecting themes, you're collecting different resources, you are playing spiritual gifts, you are doing miracles, all these types of things, so you can be the first player to get a certain amount of believers, aka points. So this is going to be on Kickstarter sometime late in January or January 2024. I think it's late. I'll have date in the bottom of the video. I'll have a link to the project, all that kind of thing. So don't worry about that. All the information you're going to be needing can be found in the video description. So even if I forget to put it in the video proper, scrolling along the bottom, you can see it in the video description. So if it looks cool to you, if you're a fan of the axe and you want this expansion, cool. If you've never heard of the axe but it seems interesting and you want to get all of it, cool. If you have the base game like me but you want to get the deluxe, go check out that Kickstarter, because I bet you can get the deluxe in there. So this is a cool expansion. It's blends in seamlessly, adds more of a good thing, a couple extra rules that are not going to be impossible to teach, and probably will be able to fit in the main box too, which I find fantastic. So that is the Axe Letters from Rome expansion from Cobblestone Games. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.